What's some weird shit that turns you on? I had a dance instructor once look at me and say, "Now take me into this pose. Really lead me." And now we are waltzing with my boner. I already commented, but I think I found another one. Men who dance. I went out on a date once with a guy who danced Latin dances, and I found it so attractive. I think I can fall in love with a guy just by us dancing tango. When dudes stretch and put their arms over their head. Not sure why. Even if there is nothing else attractive about them, I'm instantly just a little turned on. When I hear my boyfriend talk on the phone while he's at work, he sounds so professional and adult. I don't know why, but it always catches my attention. When a woman turns her head, the neck tendon sticking out always looks really feminine and sexy. Ugh. Neck tendon sounds creepy as duck, so I hope people know what I'm talking about. Being in the passenger seat with a man driving stick shift, I don't know why. I don't know why, but drifting in Mario Kart makes the room hot. I had once met this girl. We were in the middle of a pretty deep talk, and when I shied away from her question and asked her why, her answer was, "Because I genuinely want to know." I fell in love at that second. Someone is actually interested in knowing why I'm the way I am. This has been my favorite response. The fact that this was posted as something weird is kind of sad, and I say that as someone who can completely sympathize. Performing cunnilingus while she's standing up. Find it hot for some reason. Honestly, this thread has just shown me how horny I'm, cause so many of these are things for me too. But my biggest one for some dumb reason is masturbation. Like, just knowing someone is doing it, or getting to talk about it or watch it. It does it for me. Agree. That point right before climax is what gets me to climax. I get these raging hard-ons sometimes when I'm on long drives in the country. Something about the isolation of these little farmhouses in the middle of nowhere. I feel like if I lived there I would have nothing to do but just duck all day. I'm a big hairy dude, so my nips don't get much play, but man, my GF did this thing with her mouth to the left one, and I about knocked the TV off the wall with my instant boner. For a second I thought it was about to go to I about knocked the TV off the wall with that cum shot. Thought he was going to say about knock that TV off the wall with my stiff nipple. When guy drive in reverse. I don't know why I. A woman that can crush my skull in between her thighs. 1 death by snusnoo. 2 ever seen one of those CrossFit girls break a watermelon with the clamping force of her thighs. It's so hot. The sound of leather creaking and high heels on a tile floor. Boots high heels just sounds like power coming down the hall, and I do duck with that. It's not always in a sexual sense, but I really like strong looking hands and arms. I think it's because I grew up watching X-Men and I was really into the Wolverine. Hands can be very sensual indeed. Catching that glimpse of belly when a guy stretches or something. Bonus points if a bit of their underwear waistband is showing. Also, that muscle on the forearm right in front of the elbow. It bulges a little when you move your hand, and I legit almost got hurt at work once because I was distracted by a guy working nearby. I was transfixed by watching that muscle move. We eventually dated for a while too. Man, you would love my beer gut when I sit in the couch. You'd be surprised because there's plenty of us that absolutely would. McDonald's Sprite. I don't know why, but it raises the roof of my pants by a lot. Not what I expected to read here, laughing my butt off. Welcome to Reddit. You'll find a bunch of these type comments. Long fluffy hair on men. I don't know why, but it makes me want to get grabby. Men with good hair period. Cries in bald. Bald can be good hair. The main thing ladies like is men looking like they take time to groom themselves. Good bald is high maintenance. The news. I don't know why, but something about the way the anchormen look straight into the camera and speak so sternly and emotionlessly. It used to worry me because the news doesn't usually showcase the most heartwarming stuff. So when I was even less sure of what exactly about it I was attracted to, you thought I was a psychopath. I realized it was something about the artificial setting, the way they speak and stare, and just the plainness of it all compared to porn. I just love the news for the wrong reasons. Now this is some weird shit. Weird, but harmless and kinda cute. Honestly, the exact type of weird I hope to find in this thread. Older men with salt and pepper hair. Or just men in general who have hair like that. I blame Aladdin's dad for that, laughing my freaking butt off. A guy I'm into is younger than me, but he's already starting to get white and grey hairs. He has black hair, so it makes him look so damn good. When my girlfriends say let's test how good my birth control is. My attractive boss used to jokingly call me little girl because I was by far the youngest person working at our office, and it did weird things to me. Ugly little girl in general or good girl or anything along those lines really revs my engine. I absolutely lose my shit. Whenever my boyfriend says good girl to me, the floodgates open every time. One time I accidentally burped in front of my crush, but before I had a chance to become embarrassed, she immediately burped twice as loud in response. Now, to my reluctance, I find burps hot. Perhaps you find women competitively challenging you attractive. It's quite rare. A woman with a nice, voluptuous FICO credit score. I dated a girl who hit me, but it made her more attractive to me. Something about being scared of her made it so much hotter when she would grab me. I eventually broke up with her because of it. Because logically I knew it was wrong, but my dick didn't feel the same way. This woman I've hooked up with a couple of times showed me some Krav Maga holds as we were sitting at the bar. I was more than mildly turned on. The weight of my partner on top of me. Me too. Guys often are afraid to put their full weight on me, but I actually love it, and it's more like soothing compression than being crushed if they are not more than twice my weight. Sometimes I ask my husband to human blanket me where he just lays on top of me with his full body weight, and boy does it feel good. Sleepy guy's voice over the phone. That not tired just sleepy tone with the exhaling sounds extremely hot. A gamer guy in his chair. Sports pants. Serious face looking at his monitor. Glimpse of skin when stretching, and that shirt goes up a bit belly. Code science guy talking about complex things with passion. Gives me a lady boner. Not out of ordinary I think, but a guy moaning not like a troll. Rather a sweet tone of pleasure. Not groaning like a beast. A guy laughing, but not just any sort of laugh. I don't know if I can describe it, but it's not the full open mouth ahaha. It's a more of a teasing sort of laugh. There were several instances in which I heard guys laughing like that, and it also tickles my inner perv. Drops falling from a guy's hair. I love hair that is long enough for me to grab it. The longer the better, and if it's metal guy length of hair I will crawl of pleasure if I feel drops falling in my back from his hair during doggy style. Sorry for details. Guy in a uniform or suit. I'm crazy by glasses too. Being naked in nature. You'll never know how liberating and primal it feels unless you've tried it. I have washed myself on a mountain ridge in the morning at low temps, and I got a raging boner just because this was so epic and animalic somehow. Also, just walking through a lonely forest naked can be a very intense experience. It is kind of vulnerable, but also powerful. I just enjoy being naked outside. I love to sit on my deck and watch the birds critters in my yard naked as a jaybird. Maybe having a beer. The love-a-dove look in their eyes. Like, the softness in their eyes makes me wanna go feral. For real, just seeing the love in their eyes. Seeing how much they adore you and need you. The softness of it all makes me insane. Or when they look at you like that and kiss you on the side of your face and linger to get a good sniff of you. Something about them liking me so much they want your scent. I had a girl move overseas and she took my shirts because they smelled like me and complained when the smell went away. I had that on my mind the next time I saw her and I went feral. My wife slaps my balls. It hurts, but goddamn it makes me feral. A girl with a lisp or mild speech impediment. Play biting turns me on like nothing else. Whether I'm biting or being bit, it makes no difference. It's just weirdly hot. I just listened to a bunch of kidnapping ASMR stuff on a dare, and guys, I think I have a torture kink. What the duck do I do now? A man with glasses. I don't know why, but it might be my professor fetish laughing my butt off. I don't know if chat classifies as weird, but I find long purple hair so attractive. Blue collar guy right after work. Super dirty and a little sweaty. Dirty hands and muddy work boots. Women going commando is one for me. Knowing under her jeans is just skin will keep my motor running all day long. Also high on the list are women's underwear. Seeing women's panties peek out from their clothes does it every time. I find it odd myself that these two turn-ons are mutually exclusive. Men with long hair. It was fashionable when I was young and never got over its appeal. Men with long hair and women with short hair. My. That shit works 90% of the time. So glad I bagged a long-haired man who suits it. Big ships. Big old ships in the ocean. Being enormous does it for me. They're so big. And then the ocean is even bigger. Watching my husband eat. He eats so much like it's nothing, and I don't know why it seems so manly to me. My man's back muscles shoulders. Something about seeing his back muscles flexing when he's doing something boring, dishes, laundry. That's not weird shit at all. I'm attracted to emotional train wrecks, mental illness, and chicks with baggage and a history. You would have loved me 8 years ago. When I first met my girlfriend, we were in a machining class together and I walked near her to grab something. She just walks past me and smacks me in the stomach. Hard. Then she just walked away giggling. I just stood there kinda dumbfounded staring at her walking away, immediately falling in love. Hair is apparently my thing. Love long hair on a guy. Also, I don't want you to shave all of your pubes off. Clean and trimmed. Sure. But if there's nothing there, I'm disappointed. Also don't shave anything else. Like chest hair. Leave the hair. Plus shoulders. I don't know what it is about a man's naked shoulders, but damn. When my belly button gets pressed, I don't know how to describe it, but if someone takes their finger and shoves my belly button with it pretty hard, it makes me go like. I get turned on by the thought that something turns my partner on. If they have some out there fetish like, I don't know, wax play. It's not that I get pleasure from giving or receiving it, but I do think it's hot that they like to give or receive it. So I'm down for either. It's a lot of hoops to jump through when I write it out like this, but it makes sense in my head at least. When a guy stands in a doorway and then like stretches his arms on it, I don't know bro, it's probably a dominance thing laughing my butt off. Slightly toned calves. I saw a girl once in line at a coffee shop with cargo shorts and calves that actually made my heart race a little quicker. I was flushed and kept trying to steal glances at them. Not sure how weird this is, but pubic hair. Just a little bit or a lot. As long as it's clean, I'm into it. Does it have to be attached, or can it just be laying around anywhere? Venom and his tongue. I'm a man, but there is just something about being called mommy. It hits way harder than daddy. Edit, I've seen a few comments calling me an egg, but I would like to tell everyone I'm not transgender. I'm omnisexual, a part of the LGBT community, and have grappled with gender quite a bit, but I'm happy with my gender and my identity as a man. Sprite was winning, but then I read yours. I had a dance instructor once look at me and say, "Now take me into this pose. Really lead me." And now we are waltzing with my boner. I already commented, but I think I found another one. Men who dance. I went out on a date once with a guy who danced Latin dances, and I found it so attractive. Currently in college going to this club that teaches salsa, bachata and meringue. Leader of the club is this cool frat guy and he always claims one rule. If you're dancing bachata up close crotch to crotch and she stay dancing after 2 full songs. Bag has been secured. When dudes stretch and put their arms over their head. Not sure why. Even if there is nothing else attractive about them, I'm instantly just a little turned on. I'm about to walk around town stretching constantly. When a woman turns her head, the neck tendon sticking out always looks really feminine and sexy. Ugh. Neck tendon sounds creepy as duck, so I hope people know what I'm talking about. The sternocleidomastoid muscle. It can be a sexy one. Jet and heat. Eater blimey. So many upvotes and awards for a one-word comment. Thank you all kindly. I shall take them to bed with me and cuddle them all night. When I hear my boyfriend talk on the phone while he's at work, he sounds so professional and adult. I don't know why, but it always catches my attention. Being in the passenger seat with a man driving stick shift, I don't know why. Honestly, this thread has just shown me how horny I'm, cause so many of these are things for me too. But my biggest one for some dumb reason is masturbation. Like, Just knowing someone is doing it, or getting to talk about it or watch it, it does it for me. Agree. That point right before climax is what gets me to climax. I'm a big hairy dude, so my nips don't get much play, but man, my GF did this thing with her mouth to the left one, and I about knocked the TV off the wall with my instant boner. For a second I thought it was about to go to I about knocked the TV off the wall with that cum shot. Thought he was going to say about knock that TV off the wall with my stiff nipple. I had once met this girl. We were in the middle of a pretty deep talk, and when I shied away from her question and asked her why, her answer was, because I genuinely want to know. I fell in love at that second. Someone is actually interested in knowing why I'm the way I am. GPU prices are falling. Horniest Reddit threads. Catching that glimpse of belly when a guy stretches or something. Bonus points if a bit of their underwear waistband is showing. Also, that muscle on the forearm right in front of the elbow. It bulges a little when you move your hand, and I legit almost got hurt at work once because I was distracted by a guy working nearby. I was transfixed by watching that muscle move. We eventually dated for a while too. Man, you would love my beer gut when I sit in the couch. You'd be surprised, because there's plenty of us that absolutely would. I'm not sure how to describe it, but like imagine a basketball going through a hoop, but the netting doesn't move. Or if you flip a bottle into a tube and it fits in it perfectly. Stuff like that. Christ, I'm hard as a rock when I see stuff just happen perfectly. I don't know how weird this is, but I like other people's freaky kinks. For example, personally I'm not into feet, but if someone else is really into feet I get turned on by them being into it, if that makes sense. And so far that has pretty much extended to every single kink I've come across, and that's why I avoid the really weird stuff, because I choose to live in peace believing some things are too far even for me. Masculine presenting women. Short hair. Masculine clothes. Masculine mannerisms. But with a nice balance of some feminine personality traits. I wouldn't call it weird though. I discovered this one totally accidentally, but being ignored during the act. If I'm eating you out and you're just checking your Facebook etc. Yeah, turns out that's pretty fun for me. No idea why. Shit, I'm not a foot fetish guy, but a lazy foot job from someone who's just watching TV or something is one of the hottest things that ever happened to me. I wish this came about intentionally, but that really is a kink that happened to me. My partner apologized and I was just like, no, that actually worked for me. Feel free to keep doing that, babe. I really don't want to make a throwaway account sigh. Here goes, I guess. Holding my pee until I literally can't anymore, or watching listening to someone else doing the same. Especially the vocal part of it. Bonus points for doing so during sex or masturbation to the point of it becoming impossible to hold back. I don't do it often though, because I have a bladder of steel and I don't want to injure myself. If you enjoyed this video and want more Ask Reddit related content, click subscribe and hit the notification bell.